What are the life cycles of Xamarin.Forms app development? Life cycle means a specific sequence of application from start to finish of the application. So there are three important states in the life cycle of a Xamarin app development. On start, called when the application starts. On sleep, called each time the application goes to the background. On resume, called when the application is resumed after being sent to the background. Note: there is no method for application termination. Under normal circumstances, that is not a crash, application termination will happen from the on sleep state without any additional notifications to your code. Question: how many ways we can create Xamarin applications? There are two ways to deliver native iOS, Android, and Windows apps using Xamarin technology. Traditional Xamarin approach. This approach can provide direct access to platform-specific APIs, and we can create platform-specific apps such as using Xamarin.iOS for iOS applications. Using Xamarin.Android, we can create Android applications. Xamarin.Forms. This architecture is the same as that of traditional cross-platform apps. The most used method is to implement portable libraries or shared projects to save the shared code and then create specific applications for each platform that will consume this shared code. Question: when to use Xamarin.Forms versus Xamarin Native? Xamarin.Forms. Apps that require little platform-specific functionality. Apps where code is sharing is more important than custom UI. Xamarin.iOS and Xamarin.Android. Apps that require specialized interactions, apps with highly polished design, apps that use many platform-specific APIs, apps where custom UIs is more important than code sharing. What What are different extension output files generated from Xamarin.Forms? If we run the Xamarin app, it can create following application packages for different platforms: .xap slash .appx for Windows Phone 8, Windows UWP, .ipa files for iOS, .apk file for Android. Question: what are the different application package running modes in Xamarin? When you compile an application, you usually choose between below two modes. Debug. Debug mode parts the executable file with extra information used for debugging purpose. After your application is bug-free and feature complete, there is no longer any need to keep the debug information. Release. Compiling in release mode gives you a more compact executable and even slightly faster executable that doesn't include unnecessary internal debugging symbols. Note: packages should be in release mode, which would be provided to an app store. Question: how does Xamarin.Android into brackets mono for Android work? On Android, Xamarin ships a fully functional implementation of the .NET runtime called Mono, bundled with your app so that your code executes with all the power of C# and .NET, including JIT compilation, memory management, reflection, and the .NET-based class libraries. Developers can use any native features by interacting with .NET class libraries that provide one-to-one mappings to all of the native APIs on Android. Question: what is the difference between XAML and AXML in Xamarin technology? AXML and XAML are two different XML specifications. AXML is just supported slash available for Xamarin.Android. XAML is the way Xamarin.Forms could standardize cross-platform UI based on XML specification. XAML is the way Xamarin.Forms could standardize cross-platform UI based on XML specification. If you are using native Xamarin, Android, you will do UI using AXML. If using forms, then using XAML. Question: how does Xamarin.ios work? On iOS, Xamarin uses Mono, a fully functional implementation of the .NET runtime, to fully compile your app into a native ARM executable ahead of time (AOT) so that your code executes with all of the power of C# and .NET, including memory management, reflection, and the .NET-based class libraries. Developers can use any native features by interacting with .NET class libraries that provide one-to-one mapping to all of the native APIs on Android, iOS, while complying with Apple's security restrictions, which prevent execution of dynamically generated code on device. Question: what is the project structure of Xamarin.Forms? If we create app with Xamarin.Forms project using Xamarin Studio or Visual Studio, then created project will have below structure. Shared 1. Shared project containing the code common to all projects, and it will be either PCL or shared project. And app Android Xamarin.Android application project. App iOS Xamarin.iOS project application project. App WinPhone Windows Phone application project. App Windows application project. App UWP Universal Windows Platform application project. What are the different code sharing techniques in Xamarin.Forms? There are two alternative methods for sharing code between cross-platform applications. One is portable libraries (PCL) and the other is shared projects. The goal of a code sharing strategy is to support the architecture where a single code base can be utilized by multiple platforms.